Yeah, this is just great for Minnesota weather, but I'm not really talking about the Minnesota weather. I'm here on, well, recruiter's assistance. I just got a Marine Corps boot camp, and basically this is what you get if you're, well, depends on like whether you're reservist or not. Reservists don't get recruiter's assistance. But I'm running this truck for 3 weeks because I got 21 days. And I'd always been kind of interested in these trucks. And I've always been kind of interested in these. And I wanted to see what this one was like. This one's a 2004 f250 with the Triton v10. As you can see, it's a very nice model. I live up in Minnesota. A lot of these trucks, they don't look this nice. I believe this is like on the key, actually, you can see. I believe it's from Montana because it says that this one's from like Billings, Montana. So I don't know if this is like a Montana truck. I'm pretty sure it's a Montana truck, and like I don't know if this is just previous owner was from Montana or the guy who owns it. I rented this through Turo. So, but I wanted to just go over, and I just thought about doing a cold start, since it's not as cold as it was this morning. But I'm just gonna start it, see how it sounds. Oh shit! Got some snow in the interior. I forgot to close the door when I... Yeah, getting all that snow and crap off. I'm gonna have to look around, because I've looked around for... I don't see one of those brushes that you get that you're supposed to use to clear snow. I think this is the only pocket. I don't know how to fucking release it though. I'm gonna turn that off. Yeah, this is the Triton V10. It's got about 90,000 miles on it. And this one's like an 04, and like normally I don't like, when I look at these trucks, I look from like 99 to 03, because that's when like you get the power stroke, you got like the good 5.4, quote unquote good 5.4. Like, I mean, those still have the spark plug issues. These had the spark plug issues too, but in 03 they ironed out the spark plug issues, because if you don't know anything about the Triton series of engines, they were introduced in 97, and the V10 didn't come in these until 99. Like, you got like the Triton V10 in the Econoline vans in 97 and some of the other heavy utility vehicles. But so the thing was that the Triton engines, it was mostly with the 5.4 in the V10. I don't know about the 4.6. Or I don't think that was a Triton engine, but like you could still get them in the F150s. But they had an issue where the spark plugs were a little, like, they didn't have enough threads on them. So these things were known to like pop spark plugs when they get really bad, and like now that's issue is mostly fixed. It's a very common problem with these trucks. And I don't mean just these trucks, like the F250s. It was just a common problem with the engines themselves. Like, whatever engine you got, like whatever truck you got with those, eventually they were solved. And it was in 03 when like these went to 3-valve. 5.4 went to 3-valve, and I think it was 04. And I'm avoiding those. I mean, maybe it's just my bias from watching Car Wizard, and he's just like, those engines are no good. And like I still see so many of those trucks on the road, but like people just, like, I think when they buy them new, and like, you still got payments on the truck, you're gonna get it fucking fixed. But heater's blowing. It's a little loud and kind of annoying, but yeah, it's a very clean interior. Aside from like, I'm renting this for 3 fucking weeks, so I got time to like clean the interior proper. But I haven't been eating in this truck. I haven't been doing anything really fucking stupid in this truck. Oh fuck. Oh yeah, I forgot my other shit was in here. But that's neither here nor there. I don't really need my quarter frames and my fucking but as far as I see, I don't really see the brush that you get for like, I mean, this side is already melted. But like for that side, I think it's just gonna wait and basically just gonna let it melt itself out because it's already melting, and it's just that like the sun has to like hit this from a right angle to be able to melt it. It's coming up from there, so of course it's. But this truck is, I like it. It's honestly a pretty good truck. Pulling in, I'm just gonna. Fuck. I gotta readjust the holder. My phone has a very bulky phone case. It's an Otter, and so it's already a pretty big phone. But you know, I'll hold it like this. But this truck, it's honestly a pretty good truck. I mean, it sucks gas. Like, I'm gonna put you back around. Yeah, it sucks gas. And I don't remember the gas gauge being that low last time I checked, but I mean, I was blasting the heater with this thing because yesterday, even though there wasn't any snow on the ground, it was fucking cold yesterday. So I'm just gonna turn the fucking heater. I'm just turning it off. I'm planning on not going anywhere today, so it was kind of just a start to like, let me turn it off so we're not wasting any more fuel. But yeah, these things are gas suckers. she likes her gas. But overall, she's got good power to her. Like, these things are not the most powerful. I think from the factory they came with 275 horsepower, but this thing was really about torque. It's, I believe, 475 foot-pounds of torque, which very healthy torque. I was going into work one day, yesterday actually, yesterday, and I stop and like I was on like one of those like, you know, freeways where like entrances where like they have like the lights and everything, like one car goes, and so like my line turns green. I fucking step on it, and I fucking heard the tires chirp. She's got a lot of power to her. When I was first driving her over, it was raining like a motherfucker. And I put my foot in it a little bit too much as I was entering a freeway because I wanted to make sure I was going to be able to make it. And rear end slid out. I was fortunate I was able to keep control. Like, surprisingly, like, I think probably all my fucking time playing video games, I've had times where I've almost spun out. And I've almost spun out. Like, I almost spun out in the middle of fucking, like, when I was coming back from Pooley shit. I believe it was a fucking, oh God, what was it? Or I think it was like a pool function or some shit. Back when I was still a pulley before actually getting into the Marine Corps fully. I'm not joking. This is back when I still had my S10. I sold her because transmission blew on me, which is a shame. But GM transmissions. But I was driving. And I wanted to pass this person, and so, like, me being dumb, I decided, like, oh, it's a good idea to fucking step on it, because, like, that's what I always did. And I really like that 4.3 motor. That 4.3 motor was nice and torquey. It doesn't have as much torque as this truck, but it still, like, was very torquey. So, like, I didn't have to worry about, like, you know, I put my foot in it and it goes. And I almost spun the fuck out. Like, I almost did. The rear end came loose. I almost spun out. And I don't know how, but I was able to, like, just keep control, and I kept that bitch straight. And I was fucking terrified, and then I just started laughing, because it was just such a stupid, and, like, it was such, like, a stupid experience. But it was fun as fuck. And, holy, it was just something else. It's just, like, so, I don't know why, it's just, like, I don't... Whenever I'm driving something, like, I guess I'm just so used to pickup trucks, I just, like, I know, like, how to be able to just, or, like, I've just played so many video games where I've spun out, I just know what to do when I fucking spin out. I literally just, because a lot of people, they overcrank the wheel, I literally just hold it straight, and usually I'm able to regain control. Like, I let off the throttle, I let it, you know, I let the wheels catch up, or, like, I let the, you know, let it stick, and then, like, you know, I just hold the steering. And I guess I'd have to show you, but I'm not really planning on wasting more fuel trying to fucking find a place where I can... Like, I'd have to find a safe place because I'm in a residential neighborhood and I don't want to be screeching tires and waking everybody up. But, I mean, it's 10 in the morning, but, like, everybody's at work. But I don't want to put people in fucking danger. That's stupid. Just to prove a point. But I definitely see, I get why people like these trucks. This truck is very comfortable. Like, I can sit in this all fucking day. And I really know it's set up. It's got a pretty decent cruise control. I figured out how to be able to use this because I never used cruise control on my truck because I never drove long enough. Like, I've been driving, taking the highway a lot with this truck. And it's like you literally, like, you just press this button, it's on, and, like, you don't, like, all you need to do is just stop it momentarily. It's just fucking press the brake, and then you just put that shit back on. And then it's really convenient when you're, like, just, like, driving, like, and you want to just be able to coast, or, like you're in the fast lane, and I wanted to, like, maintain, like, a constant, like, consistent speed for something, like, feel much. And this truck fucking screams when you really put your foot in it. Like, when you're, like, just, like, normal driving, she's actually very, very quiet. And I don't know if I'm pretty sure the exhaust is stock. Like, this thing still has the original radio in it. Like, that is, like, you don't see that a lot. Because a lot of people will swap out these fucking old, like, a lot of these, like, 90s and 2000s stereos. They always swap them out. And it's kind of a shame because, like, you have to use an aux cord, and the aux cord, no offense to the owner, but the aux cord that, like, he has kind of sucks, so. And also it has these little cup holders that come out of the dashboard back when those were a thing, like, and you have cup holders here, so, like, you have, like, 4 cup holders, and then I'm pretty sure if I'm able to pull this down from here, yeah, you got 2 more in here. So this thing has 6 passengers. So if you're all like, and like, you got this hump right here. I really like these. I think Ram was the first one to come up with this concept of, like, having, like, the 40, 20, 40 bench seat. So you still have a bench seat, but you can also have a center console in here. I'm surprised they only put that in trucks. Like, honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing that in cars too. Like, you got all this space right here, and I mean, of course, like, this would be for, like, if this was a manual, the shifter would be right here. If this had the manual, 4-wheel drive, then, like, it would be right here. This one has, like, the little dial, which I have not tried 4-wheel drive yet. I haven't been. If it keeps up like this, maybe I might use it. Maybe I might. I can't tell you what it's like to drive when it's towing, because this is, like, the primary little purpose of, and like, and this engine was to tow, because, like, that's where, like, this thing is kind of, like, its happiest. It's, like, when I believe, like, 2,000 to 3,000 RPM towing. But I'll suppose a little car knowledge on y'all. So this V10 was introduced in 97. It was meant to compete with the Ram V10, the 8-liter, which was, like, people say it's like it was based off the Viper engine. It kind of was, but it kind of wasn't. It's not the same as a Viper engine. The Viper engine is aluminum. I believe it has an aluminum block, if I'm not wrong. And the 8-liter 10 in the fucking Ram trucks was, like, it was the same size. It was all cast iron, because it was meant to be, like, a heavy-duty workhorse. And so Ram introduced that in 1994 with the second-gen Ram trucks. And Ford was like, fuck. Because Ram already had an advantage, but, like, because Ram was, like, the last one to get into diesel engines for their heavy-duty trucks. But they got the big guns. They got Cummins to, like, they asked to, like, be able to put the Cummins 12-valve in their trucks. And Cummins was like, oh, fuck yeah. So Ram got to put the Cummins in their trucks, and, like, Cummins being, like, fucking Cummins, if you know anything about diesel engines, Cummins is, like, one of the big dogs of diesel engines. And for, like, all of the all the big three, they had to outsource the diesel engines from like, you know, specialty, you know, companies that specialize in diesel engines. Like they've been making them their entire lives. Because GM, they had the Oldsmobile diesel, which was basically a Chevy 350, which was like converted to run on diesel. Those things are awful, 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 awful engines. They're not good. And actually, I think a few of them were converted back to gas because like they're just like and that, and also just, but so they had to go to like, you know, GM went to Detroit Diesel to make the 6.2 and the 6.5 liter engines before they were eventually able to make the Duramax in 01. Ram went to Cummins. Ford went to International Harvester, which is now just International. They like, and it's like they had the 6.9 and the 7.3. But so Ram, I'm pretty sure their thinking is that, like, I mean, like, you still had gas, like big gas engines, because Ford in the F250, F350, and like the heavy duty work trucks, they had the 460, which is a 7.5 liter V8. GM had the 454. And Ram, I believe, I don't remember, just like, there were like kind of like their bigger engine was the 5.9, and so they wanted something that could like probably outcompete those big gas V8s. So their thinking was, okay, let's have an 8 liter fucking V10, and so Ford was like, fuck, they have a V10. So in '97, they introduced the V10 for the Econoline vans, which I think you could get those up until like right about the end of the Econoline, because you're not getting a V10 in a fucking Transit. That'd be fucking awesome though. That would be absolutely fucking bitchin'. But with that, there was a so they introduced it in '97, and then with these trucks being introduced in '99, the truck I'm sitting in right now, they were introduced in '99. But like there's like some people that say, like, you know, previous body style of '97 to like '98. There was no 1998 Ford F Series truck for like the F250, F350 on upward. Technically, there's no like '98 truck. Like, I'm pretty sure these were sold in '98, but they were all 99s and like 99s to like 07. So like it's kind of the same thing with the Corvette. There was technically no 1983 Corvette. It went from like 82, and they couldn't get it out fast enough, so it was the middle of 1983. So like then they all called them 84 Corvettes. So just to be able to like explain that, because like if you ever look into these, that's a little confusing. But like sometimes car companies, like when they can't get a vehicle out, or like a model out in the right time, they'll just build it as next year. Oh, look at that snow. Snow is already gone. So the thinking was with these engines was that there are people that wanted a heavy duty torquey engine but just didn't want to deal with diesel. Because I love diesel, and I'm actually like, I'm somewhat familiar with how to be able to work on diesels. Like, I went to a diesel mechanics at my community college back when I was still in high school. But there's not a lot of people that want to deal with the, like, you know, the bills of having a diesel engine. Because diesel, like, finding a diesel tech, they're more expensive because they're rare. And just diesel is like, they've got like nowadays, they've got like a lot more complicated emissions technology because of blah 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 EPA bullshit, and they're harder to service, and like technically you get better gas mileage, but you just pay more for fuel. And a lot of the time, like guys like they would take the worst fuel mileage for like with the V10, just to be able to get something that's like it's easier to service, like you know, anybody, like, you know, like most people can be able to fix it, that and also just other reasons. So these engines were like relatively popular, and honestly, if I was making enough money and I didn't care too much about gas mileage, I'd buy one of these V10s. Honestly, they're a pretty good engine. I can't tell you about long-term reliability. I'm only going to have this thing for like 3 weeks, and then I'm going to give it back to the owner. I've only had it for a week. The only problems I see with this truck are like not necessarily like, you know, it's gonna get serviced anyway, because like this guy takes it to, like, you know, takes it to the Ford dealership and has it serviced religiously. Like, I think it's like, you know, probably every 5,000 miles, whatever. But this is a very nice, very nice truck. Forgot it's inverted. It is a very nice example. 50 in Minnesota, of all places, because Minnesota, we eat cars for fucking breakfast. But it's a very nice example, and people, they get these. They get them, and they just run the shit out of them. Like, I mean, I'd get one. It's got very comfy seating. They're not fast by any means. Like, they have enough. This thing has enough power to be able to, like, keep up with traffic. The 7.3s are fucking slower. I test drove a 7.3 when I was in Oregon with my uncle. That thing, like, I'm not joking. Like, you literally had to put the gas on it. I had to touch the pedal just to get it to, like, roll. Like, I put it in drive and, like, I let it roll, and it wouldn't really roll. You know what I'm saying? And I thought, like, you know, the gearing, like, with them, like, they're pretty low gearing, like, but she wouldn't really roll, and I had to put my pedal on it. This thing rolls. I don't know what's up with the 7.3s on that, but yeah. And I mean, would I prefer to try to be able to, like, rent, like, a 7.3? I mean, that'd be fucking cool, but, like, I realized how fucking slow that thing was, which diesel trucks are just slow. It's like, unless you build them, there's a lot of people that build diesel engines. I'm not one of those people. I want to keep it stock, and, like, the only modifications I would do would be, like, ones that, like, extend the life of the engine. Make it where she'll keep going without needing as much maintenance, as much things to, like, you know, so stuff that's, like, you know, set to go wrong just doesn't go wrong, or whatever. I mean, it's an engine. The stuff is gonna go wrong eventually. Like, the last truly reliable vehicle you'll ever have is a fucking big wheel, if you know what those are. But yeah, I definitely see why people get these trucks, and they run them, and like, they keep them for so long, and, like, they run them with, like, all kinds of miles. Like, I'd say, like, given the chance, I'd buy one of these. I mean, like, I'd say I'm fairly unbiased. I'm mostly a Chevy guy. My first truck was a Chevy. I grew up in a GMC Suburban. Yeah, GMC Suburban, not a Yukon. GMC Suburban. It was in 1991, when they were still called Suburbans, not the Yukon. So I have a love for Suburbans. So, like, I'm a little bit more biased to Chevy. Like, I'd like to get, like, GMT 800, but, like, I'd still see this one as a viable truck to get if I just can't find a GMT for a good price, or, like, a good deal. I definitely get one of these. I like, even with the V10. Like, the only one I would, like, skimp out on, or the only ones I'd skimp out on, is, like, I wouldn't get one of this here. Like, if it was, like, this V10 truck, yeah, I get it. But if it was one with the 6-liter, or the 3.554, no, I wouldn't get one. If it was, like, a new engine 5.4, maybe. But, like, even if it was a bulletproof 6-liter, no. Like, I do admire those people, like, the owners of those trucks, for, like, they want to keep those running. But I'm not one of those people. I don't feel like I would have, like, the amount of, like patience to be able to put up with that. But yeah, I guess this is this video, and I don't know why. I just really felt like I just wanted to just, like, make a video, like, you know, sharing my opinion of these trucks. Like, it's my first time, like, really having one for extended period. Like, my uncle had, like, a Ford Excursion, which a lot of these Ford Excursions, like, it doesn't matter the year. Like, a lot of the time they're V10. Like, there's a few with the 5.4s, but, like, those things are so lethargic, so they're super rare. So, like, a lot of people get, like, the V10, because the V10 is, like, kind of like it's, like, you know, it has enough power and torque to be able to, like, get it moving. And, like, but the 7.3s, like, those things are just run just forever. Like finding a 7.3, it's basically the Halo version of the Excursion. Honestly, Ford, bring it back. Trust me, people will buy it. People will fucking buy it. It doesn't matter if it's fucking like, Biden's in office. People will fucking buy those trucks. You just make it nice and luxurious. People like. This is a little side tangent. I saw one. It was with the 6-liter, and it went on for auction. And it was the 60-mile Ford Excursion. I believe it was an 04, same year as this truck. It was like, it went for over $100,000 fucking dollars. I'm not joking. Look it up. It fucking happened. I'm not fucking joking. This truck went for like $100,000 for a fucking Ford Excursion. People will fucking buy those. Like, the people that love those trucks really like those trucks. They really like them. It's not even. It's a bit of a cult. It's a bit of a cult. I'm not gonna lie, but I see why. Like, these things aren't the most, like, they're not like a Cadillac, but they're relatively comfortable. I mean, like, when I'm driving this thing, I can, like, it's solid front axle. I can feel a lot of stuff on the road, but I don't, like, feel it like I'm like, oh, I fucking need to go to the doctor. I need to see the corpsman. This shit, fuck. Nah, like, it's good seating. It's nice and plush. Like, this is like cloth. I don't know about the leather, but like the cloth seats, these things, like, they're actually pretty comfortable. I can sit in these like all day. Like, it's like a couch. It's kind of like that's what I think that like a lot of work trucks like I mean, they falter. Like the truck I drove when I was in Oregon, I had to rent a truck there because my uncle only had one car between him and his wife had to go to work a lot. So I like rented like a little like 1500, and that thing was relatively comfortable as well. Like it was like a 2-wheel drive, like independent front suspension, but like that one was also pretty comfortable as well. But like, I'd sit in my mom's car and I like, it was meant to be luxurious, and I'm like, I hate this thing. I can't, like, I didn't hate that car. It's a good car when you're doing it short distances. When you're driving down to South Dakota and you have no legroom, like, I'm a pretty tall guy. I'd say I'm like 6 foot, 5'11", 6 foot, and like, your legs are all crunched up, and you're just like, you have no space to breathe. Like, this thing has. It's what I like crew cab trucks. A lot of the time, they have like a decent amount of legroom. At least the ones I've been in. I haven't been in one. It's like, not, and I mean, like, crew cab, not the fucking extended cabs. You're not gonna get legroom in them bitches. Though personally, I personally like, I just think that like those, like the back seat, I just take them out and just put tools back there, because I think those are more useful, like keeping tools back there, or your groceries, or like anything that you don't want in the bed, but like you just don't want it, like, and you just don't got to carry a lot of people. I mean, this thing has like plenty of space to put shit in the back. Like, so I like but I'd say, like, yeah, I definitely, like, I'd buy one of these. Good price, good, like, low mileage, because like you find a lot of these with like 200,000-300,000 miles. And oh, look, the snow's already melting off that window. Sorry, ADHD go burr. ADHD go burr. But yeah, I definitely say it's a good truck. It's definitely, like, I'd say I get why people get these, and if you're looking for a 3/4 ton or a 1 ton truck, and you want something decently comfortable, I can't say anything about the other trucks out there, Ford and Ram. I mean, I am in a Ford. I'm stupid. GM and Ram. I can't say anything about those trucks. I'm not gonna say this one's the best, but I definitely say this one's definitely an option for you. Just get the right engine choice for your needs. If you need a diesel, get the 7.3. If you just want a gas engine, and like, but you still want to tow, get the V10. If you don't need to tow all that much, and like, you're just kind of like, you just need like, good reliable truck to get you to work and back, 5.4, early 5.4, not the 3-valve, is also a pretty good option. But I definitely say that, like, yeah, I'd say this is just a pretty good like work truck. It's relatively modern. They still look pretty good. I mean, styling is not really like, it's not really about styling with the work trucks, but they still look good. I really like the look of these trucks. Like, but all of that said, I'd say like I've rambled a little bit too long. I'm not a professional car reviewer, but it's just like being able to drive something like so different that like I haven't like really like been able to like get my hands on one and like be able to drive it for an extended period of time. I wanted to be able to share my opinion about it. Not that my opinion matters, but yeah, I'd say that wrap it up. Y'all have a nice day now. Stay safe. Keep yourself warm if you like live in the Midwest or Canada. Um, I mean, I'm pretty sure like in my area it's supposed to melt by the end of the day, but like still keep yourself warm. Don't get sick, and just be safe out there. And y'all have a nice day.